Welcome back to Norwegian History. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Kongsberg Våpenhistoriske Sales Fair that I went to on the 27th of April. This was a really cool event, and I was there last year as well, but this year I kind of decided to up my budget a little bit more, and I was able to get some really cool items for my collection, and that I'll be using in the channel forward as well. Of course, you can see some of the stuff I got here, and I also got a really cool item right here as well. So yeah, let's get into it. So the event was really nice, and it only lasted about 4 hours, so it was from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and in that time there was a lot of people there. I think I overheard there was around about over 300 people that event showed up at the event, and this event was actually hosted at the the Silver Mine Museum in Kongsberg itself. It's a really nice old brick building, and I really enjoyed the atmosphere that this really provided for the actual mess itself, and compared to last year, there was a lot more table space, I feel. It was a little bit cramper than last year. I think they had more items on display. In fact, one thing I noticed was there was a lot less uniforms there than last year. I feel like there was more weapon parts and more antique firearms there than uniforms, per se. At least that's how I feel. And another thing actually about the event that I find, I don't know if anyone else really felt like this, but it was really dark, I feel. Maybe the pictures won't really be able to show that justice, but I feel like it was a little bit dark in some of the areas of the fair itself. Also, I was not able to take any pictures inside the event itself. I did actually reach out and ask if it was okay, and I got a no, and that is honestly completely understandable. I didn't want to, of course, privacy is the most important thing. So I will be using the pictures that we have on the official website, which are already up for public, so you can see how the event kind of looks like. There was a lot of different spread of items when it comes to nationality. There was of course a lot of German items there. That is of course the majority of the collectors here in Norway, I believe, is German collectors. At least that's how it feels. Of course there was a lot of other cool stuff. There was some Norwegian stuff, as you can see, that I picked up. There was also some really cool just one-off really rare items that you can get there. And there was also a very just nice spread of items. There was a really nice Norwegian 1934 jacket there that I considered picking up, but I had already burnt through my budget at that time, so that's how it is. But it was a really nice medics jacket. It was really cool and really nice condition. So yeah, the prices, in my opinion, were pretty fair. I really enjoyed the opportunity to go around and kind of scout out prices. So if you are looking to bargain hunt, that was a great place to do it. I was able to bargain hunt some really nice Crag bayonets that I don't have in my collection, and I was able to get a nice pair of really nice early pouches here for the I believe it's for the Remington rolling block, but they're at least from the 1870s. We'll be taking a closer look at that in a moment. Also, I was able to talk with people. That's really what I really enjoyed about this, is talk with people that are much more knowledgeable than I am, and I found that to be almost more worth than what I got itself. That's especially if you want to go around talking to people that know what they're talking about. That's the place to be, especially if you're considering going next year. For me, it was quite the drive. I think it was a 2-hour drive to there and back. Many people might think that's a lot, but I had to cross a lot of distance to get there, and I enjoyed it very much. Of course, I think there was people that have traveled far greater distances to be there that day as well. The weather itself was great. I really thought we couldn't have lucked out better when it comes to the weather. It was nice, sunny, and really just summerly weather, even though it's not fully summer yet here in Norway. Also, there was a nice commodity for food, so you could buy, I believe, hot dogs, waffles, and you can have a cup of coffee. It was really nicely hosted, and I thought it was perfect. It was really good way of just not too much food, of course, but still great nonetheless. I was also able to meet some people that have watched the channel, and that was really cool. I really enjoyed being able to talk to people that actually watched my content and actually enjoyed it, and that's cool. I just think meeting people is always cool. I love talking to people, so I don't have any issues with that at all. So yeah, let's get into looking at what I got here. Of course, we're not going to be going too deep into detail of each item, but they will be featured on the channel later on as well, as that's kind of a reason why I got into all of this, is just as an investment, we can call it, for the channel as well, even though it's probably massive amounts of copium. But yeah, let's take a look. So to start off, let's talk about the Crag bayonets I picked up for my collection. For the most part, I have a lot in my collection, but all of these are examples that I just don't have and I thought were really cool looking and had some really cool, interesting history to them. We'll start off with this one right here. This is a German-produced Crag bayonet. The way you can spot that is not necessarily the scabbard, although the tip will be missing, but this one has some really cool markings. It's been scrubbed of markings. You can see some filing marks, and it's been afterwards added just a 10. That can be a lot of things, but I've not seen this with such a low digit before. It doesn't mean anything in particular, but it's pretty cool to have. And on the other side here, you'll see the Waffenamp on it right there. And that has the correct code for the Kongsberg factory as well. Really cool. And another cool thing that this thing shows is on the scabbard, on this side, it should have, oh no, that's on another one. We'll take a look at that later. But yeah, pretty nice. This is not a matched scabbard, just a really cool one to have. The markings just is really interesting. And as you can see here, it has that standardized Kongsberg tooling mark that was used for all the German production ones as well. And nothing else, of course. It's just clean like that. The second one is a proper 1894 bayonet. As you can see here, has a serial number and also has the Crown K, but has Julsrud's Ole Adolf Julsrud's inspection mark, which I have shown in the 1894 video as a inspection or the replacement bayonet, but I was able to pick up one that was actually a production bayonet, which is pretty cool. So this one's in pretty good condition as well. Nice. I feel like it has good patina on it as well. This one has been sharpened, so it's not that really interesting. It's more just for my own collection, really, that I have this. Pretty nice. The next one I actually picked up was something I realized in my collection is that the Steyr bayonets I have, in fact, two of them is actually out of serial range. So I wanted to pick up a nice Steyr bayonet that's within serial range, which is this one right here. It's a really nice condition, minus these marks on the scabbard here, but honestly that doesn't mind me that much, but it's a nice numbers matching serial number bayonet here. Pretty low as well. Nice Steyr bayonet, as you can see here. And the really cool thing is this thing has Påske's early inspection mark. The later one, as I'll show you right here, is the later one, and I don't actually have one with that early inspection mark. It's also here, and of course, since it's a Steyr, there's no crown or the H7 marking. Really nice, and as well, really nice that it has a numbers matching scabbard. And the cool thing is it's in really good condition, really soft. This is the standard style of frog, and as you can see here, it still has its markings here. It has the infantry, which is the infantry regiment number 14, and it has the, I believe this is for just a state property mark right here. Like an army property mark. Still in really good, soft condition, which I'm really happy, and I got this for a pretty good deal as well. The next one is something that's pretty cool. I've been looking for a long Crag bayonet, the 1913 long Crag bayonet, for a while now. And, well, they're hard to come by because, of course, there are only 3,000 of these made. And when I was going through the tables, I was actually able to find this, which, of course, this is not a long Crag bayonet, but when I looked at the serial number, it's very low, and I looked at it and it had been phosphor finished or some sort of a different finish, which is normal for the shortened long Crag bayonets. So when I opened this, to my surprise, it used to be a long bayonet, but has been shortened by the Germans and thinned down. So that's why we don't see any markings on each side here, because it's been thinned out at the bottom here. And it's still really cool because this is one of 3,000, and you can see if we just take a look at the serial number here and base it off of the ranges of the 1913 bayonet, you can see that it does actually fit within the range, which is really cool. I got this for a decent price, and it's still just a lot of cool history with this bayonet. So I picked this up for my collection just because of that. I will be trying to get a proper 1913 bayonet, of course, at some point. I am actively looking out for one as well. And this one is the one that has a cool marking. The serial number on the scabbard is relatively low, but it's just the 3 last digits because it's a Steyr scabbard. But the cool thing is the marking. I'm going to see if I can show you this on camera better. Come on. Right there, you can see like a clover marking, a rounded clover. That means that this was accepted despite minor issues. Let's see here, focus, there we go. So the scabbard is just a cool piece of history because it just has that marking. And I have now one physical that I can use as a reference. The next one is another German production bayonet, and I will note there were a lot of these German Waffenamt Crag bayonets at the mess, or at the fair. There was a box full of them being sold, and really cool actually to see these up for sale. And they're actually quite collectible, and really cool thing is almost not every single one is the same. All of them are a little bit different. Like this one here, I've never seen this sort of scabbard, because you can see how, if you compare it to the other ones, the scabbard tip is a little bit different, which I've not seen before. This is pretty cool. And this one has something that's not very normal with the German production bayonets. It has the Waffenamt, as you can see there, but it also has a serial number. And it's even stamped the wrong way. Normally it's stamped like this, but it's been stamped the other way around. And you can see how crudely it's been marked. And that just means that this was, of course, issued to a rifle, and then just someone crudely stamped the serial number on it. And I've not seen that on many of these German-produced Crag bayonets. So pretty cool to have in my collection. A little bit sticky, but it is what it is. So yeah, those are the bayonets I got at the Kongsberg Sales Fair. Let's go over some of the other stuff I got. Here you can see some of the more equipment style of stuff that I got. I got this Crag screwdriver in pretty good condition. That's I bought this for a friend of mine, as well as I believe this is a later style muzzle protector for the Crag. The normal one only stops here, but this one was reinforced and added more to. So I got this just because I don't have it in my collection and it was a decent price, so I just snapped it up. So pretty happy about that. Also, I was able to pick up a set of pouches. Now, these, I believe, are for the Remington rolling block, and I'll explain that in a moment here. All in all, pretty good condition, still in really good soft leather. However, this one has had its stitches gone up here, so it's not really usable, and I'm not planning on it either. Still, really cool, because these are black. I don't have that yet. I only have brown ones. And as you can see here, you can see the marking indicates, the property mark indicates that it was made in 1875. Which is pretty cool. And that probably means it was used in the rolling block era, maybe even the Yarman era, of course, as well. This one here even has a infantry mark here. As you can see, it has infantry regiment number 9, and here you can see more clearly the 75 marking here as well. So these two were probably most likely used for Crags later on. A lot of them were. And the cool thing in this one, if I open this very carefully, I just felt there was something inside of it, and when I actually took a look, it has this cleaning cloth still in there, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to leave that be, because of course I'm going to not touch that. So pretty cool. This thing has a lot of history to it. So I got a nice set of really old pouches, and that really shows the history of the Crag pouch. The Crags also utilize the same sort of pouch. This is some of the Swedish stuff I picked up here. Now, the reason why I wanted this was for the Norwegian police troop stuff that I have. These are two toolkits for two different guns. This is actually part of one of the guns. This is the Swedish AG-42, I believe it's called, the semi-automatic rifle. And this is just not even the bolt, it's just the slider piece, which is not a registered part. And I got it for cheap, and I thought it looked cool as like a kind of, just a sort of letter weight or just a cool piece to show. So I got this just because I thought it was cool, not really because I collect that stuff. Just thought it was a neat piece that I wanted to get. So this first pouch is, I believe, this is for the Swedish machine gun, light machine gun, the Bren gun. Not the Bren gun, sorry, the BAR. And this has all the stuff you need to take care of it. There's, I believe, spare parts. There's even the cleaning piece here. I don't know exactly what all these parts do. I think this might be a regulator of some sort, like a gas regulator maybe. There's of course a brush set here down here. Just a cool piece of kit that I thought was neat to have. Even the wrench here, as you can see. Just a cool piece that I wanted to get, and of course it has markings, and that's something I love. So I picked this up, and the same person also had a almost identical one, and this one in fact is not openable the same way, but this one included a repair kit, I believe, or like a tool kit for the AG-42, which is this one right here. So kind of cool just to have. And as you can see here, when I roll this out, and you can see here, it has like all the stuff you need. You have a spare, this is probably like a screwdriver tool. You have a brush like the second one, an oil piece right here, and another oil piece right here. So I don't know what this is. This is, oh yeah, these are spare springs and such for the rifle. So pretty cool. I really enjoyed getting this. This is something that's not in my main collecting like sphere, but I thought it was cool to have anyways because of the nature of the channel as well. Of course, you know, Nordic arms and history, you know, you have to have not just Norwegian stuff. So I wanted to pick that up just as a cool little piece of side gear. And these pouches are pretty cool. And the price wasn't, you know, horrible. So I didn't mind picking these up for the price that was asked for them. So yeah, pretty cool leather pouches as well. You don't see this these days. I just think leather is cool. I think we should have it back, and because it just looks nice and it lasts a long time as well. Here are some of the machine gun accessories that I picked up while I was at Kongsberg, and the first thing, as you can see here, this is actually something that I've been wanting for a long time. Now, I don't have a Colt machine gun, but this is in fact the water cooling system for the Norwegian Colt M29. And I was able to get this, and it has a really cool patina on it and still has its paint, which I thought was really cool, and it's in really good condition compared to the age of this thing. So I picked this up as soon as I saw it because I thought this was something I wanted. Also, I got for the Colt machine gun is this. This is actually I believe it's a grease container for the Colt machine gun. There are two versions that would come in its accessories box. I have the second one in the background, and this one is of course the non-pump version, because there's a pump version and then there's this, which is just a lid that you open. As you can see, it's brass, so it's done brass things. And yeah, I now have both that came in the box, which I think is cool. And of course, again, as most of the things at the fair, they were at a fair price, and I really enjoyed it. So I picked this up as soon as I could. Now, this here is actually quite a rare item, I believe. These are, I've not seen many of these for sale. Either that means they're uncommon or just people don't want them, but I wanted it because it was cool. This is an accessory for the Norwegian Madsen light machine gun. And this is in fact a water pouch that would be together with the rifle. And of course it's just a screw top here. And you can just screw that open and water will come out. So pretty cool. I'm pretty happy about this. I've been looking to get one. There's been one for sale for a long time that I've been considering getting, but the price just wasn't for me. And when this thing came up with its belt buckle attachment, I just had to snap it up. So that's what I did. Pretty cool. This is a rare piece of kit for the Madsen, and I'm pretty happy I got it. The other thing I got, of course, together with this is a original belt, cloth belt for the Colt machine gun, which is pretty cool. These are just nice to have, and I've always wanted one, so if I ever get a Colt machine gun replica, or maybe even demilled, or get the chance to shoot one, I have a belt. Pretty cool. Other thing I got, just because I saw it, one of those more impromptu buys, because you always have that, is one of these. This is, I believe, a flash hider for a Browning 50 cal, and it's threaded like so. And this is, I believe, for the Norwegian Navy, and the reason why it's not blued is this is in stainless steel, because the Navy didn't want to rust. So this is pretty cool. As you can see here, it has a serial number. Pretty cool. I'm happy. I'm probably not going to keep this for too long. Just a cool piece of kit and cool piece of history that I was able to get my hands on. So yeah, pretty interesting. Now moving on to the helmets I picked up. Both of these are German helmets. However, I don't actually collect German memorabilia. I only collect Norwegian stuff. And, well, this is, yes, indeed, a German helmet, but these are two pretty cool instances of the reusing of the Norwegian helmets. And it's something I've been wanting to get for a long time. And, of course, the prices online have not been what I've been willing to pay. So when I was there, I bought this for what I wanted to pay and what I was looking for. I kind of set my mental limit where if one's for sale, I'll just snap it up immediately, and this was within that, so I picked it up. This one has just been repainted, and of course added the Norwegian Lion decals on it, and has also gotten a new liner as well, as you can see here. Just a nice example. I don't know much about German helmets, but this one is a Q64. I think that means it's a Quist, if I've learned my German helmets well enough just by stalking on Facebook. So yeah, this is just a cool Norwegian reused helmet. And these were used in the 50s and I believe also 60s. I'm not entirely sure there, so don't, you'll have to correct me on that if I'm wrong. This was used also by the Home Guard as well, I believe. Now, the second helmet is one that I didn't expect to pick up because I didn't know it was going to be there, because that's kind of how it is. This is a kind of a rare helmet. This is a German helmet that's been shortened. I don't know if this was a trial or not, but I believe these aren't that common to come by these days. And this one has retained its original German liner and also has its original paint at the bottom here. It was repainted in this green color. And the cool thing is it got its, it was used by the Norwegian Air Force, as you can see, because of the Air Force roundel. And I just feel like that roundel is just really cool, so I wanted to get one. So that's kind of why I got this. And even though it's not in perfect condition, I don't see these every day, so I decided to pick one up. A really cool thing is whoever owned this wrote their name here, their soldier number, the Norwegian soldier, I believe, and the year, which is in 1951. So this is at least dated to 1951, which is pretty cool. Pretty happy. This is a, if I've read my German helmets right, this is a SE66 helmet that has been chopped down, and really cool. I don't see these every day. I didn't plan on buying it, but I was able to talk the price down a little bit, and I'm really happy I picked this up. Just a lid for my collection that I just thought I had to have. Pretty cool. Now moving on to the rifle in the collection, or the rifle that I bought at Kongsberg. Now going in, I was mentally prepared because I had applications ready and everything. I wanted to pick up a Norwegian 1912 carbine because that's something I wanted. It's a really cool major variation of the Crag, and I wanted one. However, I wasn't able to spot any that was for sale there. However, I did spot in a little dark section this Crag right here, and this is one of the earlier carbines that was experimented with. You can see it because it has like no bayonet lug at the front and is just a very short version of this. And this is actually the shortest version, I believe, that the military used. And this is a model of 1897 engineer's carbine. Not many of these were made. I believe around about 3,500 of this variation was made. As you can see here, it has a sling mount in the back. And in fact, I have a deactivated 1895 carbine, which is exactly the same. However, the mounting point for the sling was moved up to around here a bit, I'll show you a picture in a bit here, but yeah, about here. And this one is in really nice condition, in my opinion. It's a really nice warrior rifle, as in like it's really survived the test of time. It's of course not in perfect condition, as you can see by the finish on the barrel, but it's a nice shooter, and that's kind of what I want to use this for. I want to shoot this carbine a little bit, not too much, but I want to shoot it. I was able to pick this up for a great price, and a really cool thing is I noted, I thought this was damaged here, but in fact, Carl Egil Hannevik, the writer of the Crag book, I actually showed them this rifle and I asked him if this is normal, and he did in fact say yeah, because when he aimed down the rifle, this ring here actually kind of blocked the viewpoint here, so many were actually filed down like this. So this is not a bad thing in my book, at least. I'm pretty happy. It looks really great. And all the stuff is numbing. I checked it. All the parts are numbers matching. And even a really cool thing is you can faintly see, in fact, markings on the stock here, which I haven't seen actually yet. So I'll probably try and take some high quality photos, but I believe it has the full serial number and the crowned, or what, the remnants of a crowned K. And this thing has all the right things. It has the reduced finger guard here. It has the reduced safety lever, or not the safety lever, the ammunition cutoff, and of course a shortened safety. This was all to make it easier to carry on the back, and this was of course for engineers, as you can see. Really nice rifle. I'm really happy to have this. I didn't expect to get it, but I did, and kind of that's what the whole day was, because I had a plan in my head of what I wanted to get. I didn't get any of that really. I just got everything else that I wanted but didn't know I wanted. So really happy about that. So yeah, let's get to the last item, which I think many of you haven't probably seen before, and is pretty cool to see. This here is probably the weirdest purchase that I've ever had in my life. I didn't expect to buy this. I've only seen pictures of this online, and this is in fact a original sealed ammo box for the Crag. And here there is around about 1,500 rounds, all in, I believe it's packets of 10, and then in a carton of 2 of those packs. And this thing is heavy. I've never had anything this heavy in my collection, so I'm not going to be moving this that much. But it's still a really cool piece of history. In fact, we even have some provenance behind this, at least from the seller, and that is that this was left behind by the Norwegian police troops, I believe. I can double check the paper I got here. Yeah, so this was, apparently this box of ammo was for the Norwegian police troops, and it was apparently left behind, or it was from the police troops from 1945 when they moved into Norway. So these would originally be in a longer wooden crate, and it would be 2 by 2, so 2 in each crate, and it is supposed to have a piece of paper right here, which this one doesn't have, sadly. Now, of course, it's not airtight sealed anymore, but I don't actually plan on opening this, even though I think that would be a really cool video. I don't want to reduce the amount of unopened boxes out there. So this is probably, for the time being, going to stay sealed, as, well, there's not really any reason to. I don't believe this ammo is safe to shoot. It is from before the war, I believe, from the 1930s, and I just don't want to risk damaging this, this historical piece. Now, one thing that is cool that I'll show you here in a moment, if you give me a second. If you see here, I'm not going to try and do too much, but you can actually still see some of the cartons right there. And this is just a piece that's been loose ever since I got it here. Of course, this is a very unstable piece of history, as the it's the whole thing flexes when you move it. So I put it on this lid of an old or 7.62 ammo crate, which actually has fit it perfectly. It's almost like it's made for it. So yeah, this is a really cool piece of history that I was able to get my hands on. And yeah, let me know what you think about this. If I should open it or not. I don't think I'm going to open it. At least that's what I feel. I don't think it's worth it, even though it would be cool. Having it still sealed is more of a collector's item than a usage thing. So yeah. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed the more of a rambling style video, and kind of got to look at some cool items here, especially the ammo box here. This is a really rare piece of history, I think. And even though it's not perfectly sealed anymore, I'm probably going to keep it sealed, as it's just a piece of history. It's really cool, and there's probably not a lot of them left in the country. Also, next week I'll be going over to the regular scheduled historical content, so look out for that. I'll be trying to make something pretty interesting, I hope. So yeah, and as usual, if you want to learn more about Nordic arms and history, consider subscribing. Until the next one, take care. Bye-bye.